Hello, and welcome. My name is Nick. I am sitting once again across from Q, and we are here to save the universe. Welcome in. Glad to have you with us today.
Yeah, and today we want to really save a very specific issue that many of you will face. So I'm excited about today's show.
How about Minnie? I hope I don't face this issue.
You will.
Okay.
You probably already have.
Well, we are once again joined by our lovely producer, Jeff Rena. Rena for short. Jeff, you doing all right today? Rena, you doing good?
Doing good, man.
Good. You don't sound. You sure?
Yes.
Sure.
I'm good.
Are you sure? You need a hug?
Possibly.
6 feet away.
Yes.
Yeah. We can't hug you.
We could buy
Yeah.
like pool noodles and start giving people pool noodle hugs.
Wait, what if we just got like some?
That'd be awesome.
What if you got some mannequin arms and put them like on sticks? That were 6 foot sticks. And
Huh,
start
that'd be a
doing-
great thing. Like we should really try to get that to be a thing where pool noodle hugs happen.
Pool noodle hugs. Yeah, we can probably get that trending. Can we get? Because they have the holes. Do you think we could get like some hands to put in the ends of
Yeah.
the pool? Because I feel like you just need that feel of a hand on your back when you get like a good pat on the back from the pool noodle.
Pool noodle hugs.
I feel like that would feel very very warm and cozy.
Man, I'm already
Yeah.
saving the day.
Yeah, it does feel like in this world, and it does feel weird. Like close friends, stuff like that. I'm used to give them a hug, hello, or a hug goodbye,
Yeah.
and it's just like you stop yourself now. You just can't do it.
It's weird. Hugs, because hugs are like therapeutic. Like
They
the
are,
world,
no, there's
the
no
world
doubt
is
about
a
it.
better place with hugs,
No doubt about it.
and we don't have a lot of those going on right now.
No,
In a
we
time when
can't.
we really probably could use some.
No doubt about it. I don't think there's been many times in our lifetimes where the world could use a hug more than right now.
I agree.
and it can't really have one. Mm-hmm. It's not good.
It could if we have pool noodles.
It could if we did pool noodle hugs. I feel like we need to expand on this invention and like really work on it. I think it could be something. I think it could really could be something.
Coming to you soon. Pool noodle hugs.
Pool noodle hugs coming from you. Just another way that Nick and Q will save the universe. Here shortly. Hey man, you been doing anything fun lately? Everything?
Yeah, so I did something I've never done before. I went on a boat trip, like an extended boat trip, left from a local lake and went all the way up the Tennessee River to Chattanooga and hung out the weekend in Chattanooga and then came back on the boat, which was
Wow.
really awesome. And I don't know, just really cool scenery, like up the river I'd never seen before.
Yeah,
I
I
saw
can imagine.
a nuclear power plant. I'd never seen that.
We have a nuclear power plant.
You didn't know that in Alabama there's a nuclear power plant?
I thought they were building one in Georgia. I didn't know we had one in Alabama.
Yeah, it's something ferry, Brown Ferry.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Why'd
Yeah, I
you
knew
do
about
that? Why'd you go there?
Well, because I just as soon as you said the name, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot we do that.
You're like, that's not a very cool nuclear power plant.
No, it is. I just forgot.
That's like, man,
I forgot it.
Brown's
existed.
Ferry's like an auto.
I forgot.
Isn't even? I don't even know if it's operating anymore.
No, neither.
I think I
Come to
heard
think of
TVA bought it. Maybe
I don't know.
TVA owns a lot of
TVA owns us.
things. They own a lot.
Yeah,
of things.
yeah. We can't do any we can't be doing this podcast without TVA.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
very true.
There's not really anything much in this world that you can do outside of just go outside.
Yeah.
Without TVA.
But there's a lot of like interesting scenery, just cool island things, and then there's this place called Hell's Bar that was this old abandoned building that was maybe used to be some warehouse on the water. It's just a lot like it was.
Like an operating bar that used to be some.
No, it's just called Hell's Bar, HALES. I know like it's not Hell's Bar,
Oh,
like
okay.
but I don't know what it is. It's got bust out windows, but it was huge. It was like as big as a school or something, sitting right there on the water.
People hang out there, or
I don't know. I don't know what they do there.
I don't know, sounds like a great place for snakes to hang out. Which we've already had that conversation.
Yeah.
Which means I won't be anywhere near it.
It was super fun. I got too much sun. Think I'm dealing with sun poisoning. Not sure. So
Which can be very serious.
I feel like my body's like shaky on the inside, and I can't quite get my balance.
Shaky on the inside.
Yeah, in my mind, I'm like it's either sun poisoning or like some kind of blood or bone cancer. That's what my mind tells me.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Just shaky on the. So what does shaky on the inside feel like?
I just don't feel completely right. They looked up. There's a word like for that called malaise or something. If you feel malaise,
I
like a
think
medical
I've
term or
heard that
something.
word. Yeah.
You just don't. Like,
I know what it means, but I've heard it. Yeah.
So I don't know. But anyway, I had blood work done anyway. I need to have some done for my blood pressure medication. So all that happened this week, and if anything, I'm sure if I have blood cancer, I'll have a very heightened white blood cell count.
I would imagine.
Right? Isn't that right?
I would imagine. But if you have just about anything, you have a heightened white blood cell count. Because
Yeah, but I guess they'll catch that and be like, oh, you need to come in and figure out what's going on.
Probably.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. Sun poisoning gives you a heightened.
I mean, I think anytime your body's fighting something, which I don't really know.
I don't know if it's fighting sun poisoning or it's just kind of like it's got to wear itself. I don't know if it's got to wear itself off. I don't know what that means. You know what it sounds like? It's like I'm a weak person if I tell myself I have sun poisoning.
Why does that feel weak to you?
I just feel like the sun shouldn't be able to beat me. I just don't.
Well, it didn't beat you. It just, took you out for a little while.
Yeah. Just makes me mad.
Well, I mean, because you said it's like a 5-hour boat ride, right?
5-6 hours.
And you like just sat in the sun for that 5 or 6 hours.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like.
Did you wear any sunscreen at all?
None. Zero.
Well, see,
until I realized my face was bright red.
Well, see,
and then I got this thing and I just rubbed it all over my face like this.
Well, here's the deal. We do this thing on Nick and Q Save the Universe where we talk about how to defend yourself and how to beat things.
Right.
And in the case of the sun, sunscreen or clothing, it's gonna be the way to go.
Wait, you were naked on the boat?
I had a little bit of clothing on.
And then I get it because, man, I never wore sunscreen. Like, I mean, I get fairly dark complected. My dad's very dark complected, so I've never worried about it. But now, like, parents are having melanomas cut off of them, and it's like, it's time, dude. You're 40. You're 40 now,
I know.
man.
I honestly feel like I'm 40, and I went on this great little adventure, and it was like, oh yeah, you're weak now. You're 40 and you're weak, and I'm about to show you how weak you are. So bend over, and I'm about to spank you. That's what I felt like. You 40-year-old baby.
So you got sun poisoning on your butt too?
Yeah, everywhere apparently. I don't know how it works. I don't know what that is. I think that's made up. I don't think it's real. Probably blood cancer.
Is blood cancer something that you can get?
It is, unfortunately.
It is.
Yeah.
I've never heard. Does it have another name? Because I've never heard blood cancer. Like I watch a lot of medical dramas, and I've never heard blood cancer. Maybe that's too far for even medical shows to get to.
I don't know.
Like I've heard of like bone marrow cancer. Like that's a bad one. But blood cancer. Because I would think if you had blood cancer, that's just, the blood is just going to carry that cancer everywhere to your body.
Yeah,
and I would think that would be like an awful one to get.
I think that's what's happening. I don't know.
Sorry to anyone that it's actually had that.
Yes, if you have had that,
look, I'm not making light of it.
No, I'm not making. Yeah,
I
definitely
don't
not
know
making
what's
light
going
of
on
it.
inside. Like I literally don't know what's going on inside my body. And I guess it might be sun poisoning. And it's in COVID, so I went and I was like, I even told them, did I take a COVID test? And they're like, no, you don't have a fever. Which I guess maybe if the cancer was progressed, I might have a fever. I don't know. But I don't have a fever. I don't have no coughing. My breathing sounded good.
So basically, you don't have any COVID symptoms except a little bit of weakness.
Yeah, weakness. Taste.
Yeah.
I still have taste and smell, which I know that's a big thing that's happening in COVID now. You lose the taste and smell. So I don't know. They're like, you don't have COVID. I'm like, well, what do I have? They're like, I don't know, probably sun poisoning. And I think in the back of the mind, that doctor was like, get this weak man out of my office. I think that's what he was thinking. Get this weak 40-year-old out of my office that's just trying to deal with getting old.
That's probably what, as soon as he left the room, that's probably exactly what
And
happened.
inside, I knew he was thinking that, and I was just like, I want to fight you right now to prove I'm not weak. I just want to beat you up in this office and walk out.
That actually brings up another issue. Don't you hate it when you go to the doctor and you know something is wrong with you? Like I am not like the guy who I don't go to the doctor every time like my pinky hurts or something like that. I just don't do that. If I go to the doctor, something's wrong. I know something is wrong. But when the doctor just looks at you like you just like that, just get out of my office.
Yeah.
You're being ridiculous.
Like grow up.
Yeah. Look, I'm here. Something's wrong.
Yeah.
Just tell me what's wrong.
Yeah.
Or give me something fake.
Yeah. Just tell me anything. Just go get a placebo and say take 7 of these for the next week. Like I don't care.
No. No.
I actually got to yell at a doctor because he wasn't doing anything, and he lied to my wife, and it felt really good to just tell him how I felt about him. So you should try that.
I could. I bet you still paid the copay.
I did. Yes, I did.
So in the end, he got the last laugh.
Yes, he did.
Because he did nothing for you, and then you screamed at him, and then you gave him money.
Yeah, I guess I'd take that money just to be yelled at.
Yeah. Yeah. So he won. That which that actually I had an issue several years ago. And this is an awful story. So I used to umpire high school baseball, and I woke up one day and I was just feeling awful. I felt like I needed to go try to do our responsibility, and I was behind the plate umpiring a baseball game, and it's about 100 degrees outside. I don't know if you know what all the stuff that you have to wear to be behind the plate umpiring a baseball game. So I'm burning up. My stomach's just killing me, and so finally I reach a point about third inning where I'm just like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. So I walk over to the third base coach, who is the home team coach, and I'm like, Coach, I can't continue. I'm going to have to go. We're going to have to let my partner call this by himself. I'm just not going to be able to continue. And at that point, I turn around and I vomit all over the baseball field.
Just to prove your point.
Just to prove my point. It was bad. It was bad. So I get over to like the dugout area where we change clothes, vomit again. Felt like I was going to pass out. I may have passed out for a minute. And my partner, who's a friend of ours, Andrew Vaughn, is when I kind of come to, he's calling an ambulance because I didn't feel like it was like ambulance time, personally. But he said when he looked at me, he thought I was dying. So he went ahead and called the ambulance because he said I was just white. So anyway, go to the ambulance. They take me to the hospital. Hospital sends me home, tells me I have a stomach bug, and just sends me home. And the next day, I go, long story short, next day, a friend of mine owns a medical clinic, go see their doctor. They take my blood, white blood cell count off the chart. He sends me directly to the hospital. Surgeon does a test on me, says, I'm taking your gallbladder out. And I said, really, that quickly? And he said, if your gallbladder ruptures, it's a 50% mortality rate. Wow. And I went, yeah, let's go ahead and take that out.
So it was infected? It was infected?
Well, I get they take the gallbladder out. A week later, they get the lab results from the gallbladder. It's working at 0% efficient. It was dead.
Wow.
And guess what? That emergency room that sent me home and told me I had a virus, yeah, I still paid them $500.
Yeah, you did. $500.
$500 to almost kill me. If I had listened to them, I could have died. But I gave them $500.
Oh, medical world.
It's a beautiful world. It's a beautiful
It's the only
world.
place where they can really get it completely wrong and have no consequences.
Yeah. Like there have been multiple times where we have gotten a bill and I've looked at my wife and I said, do not pay that bill. Don't do it. We're not paying that bill. We're just not, they didn't do anything. Everything they said was wrong. We're not paying that bill. And of course I come home 2 weeks later and
paid that bill.
And my wife paid the bill. Because that's what she does.
Yeah.
Because she just can't. Yeah. But you have a choice.
Or you're just going to get phone calls. They're going to make your credit bad. I mean, it's just like you have to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Because then it goes to creditors, and then all of a sudden your credit score starts going down. Yeah. It's fun. It's good times, man. I love it.
We need a Nick and Q Save the Healthcare Industry episode.
Whew, I think I'd take on marriage before I take on healthcare industry.
Maybe bring my brother back in for that.
Yeah.
Oh, I know your brother has some strong opinions on that. He had some very I would like. We actually had a little bit of a conversation about this the other night. So, that would actually be good. If we want to hear a grown man yell into a microphone, we get your brother. Which, if you haven't listened to episode 1, Quentin's brother is a doctor of pharmacology at Huntsville Hospital. Which is that a real doctor? Because there was a day where you didn't have to be a doctor to be a pharmacist, and now you do.
Now you do. Like a lot of people being called doctor.
I think so.
I think it's all again. I think I've been really on this kick the last 2 weeks. Like everything's money driven.
Oh, no doubt about that.
Like they want
Did
you
you
to
just figure that out in the last 2 weeks?
Well, I've just been really seeing it. They want you to spend more money on that degree,
Yeah.
so they make it look fancier.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're teaching you a whole lot more. Maybe, I don't know, because I ain't got one.
I'd be curious to see because your brother was like the first class that had to be a doctor.
Yeah.
To be a pharmacist.
Yeah.
So I would love to sit down with Wade and someone that was from the year before it
Yeah.
and see how much more Wade knows than that guy.
Right. Now I'd like to see how much more money Wade had to spend than that guy
Oh yeah.
to get his degree.
Yeah, there's no doubt there was more money spent. And if Wade is making any more money because he has MD attached to his name.
Maybe that might be part of it. I don't know.
That might be.
Which then to see how much our bills have went up
Since that happened.
Yeah.
They have. There's no doubt about it.
No doubt.
Yeah, there's no doubt whatsoever about it. Oh, okay. So you went rolling down. Man, by the way, ever since you told me that story, we're just rolling down the river, Proud Mary in my head. I can't get out of my head.
Yeah, it was fun. It was really was fun. Like I would do it again with sunscreen.
And maybe like a UV protection shirt.
Yeah. I mean, I would.
Yeah.
I would take precaution, but I would definitely do it again.
Yeah.
If this ever gets better, and I don't have blood
I
cancer.
can imagine just kind of being on the water rolling down. I'm feeling it'd be like calming.
Oh, it was. Like,
Yeah.
and I think that's part of why I got sun poisons. I just would like drift off to sleep.
Yeah.
You know, like just sit there napping. It's just super calm.
Yeah.
You know, and now I feel like I'm still moving.
Yeah.
Like days later, it's weird.
Proud Mary, Rena, Creedence Clearwater Revival, or I Can Tina Turner? Which one you listening to?
Credence, man.
Listen to Creedence. Yeah, I mean, but I mean, Creedence is a great version, but I mean, Tina Turner, you know, like
Oh yeah.
dancing and like the frilly thing, you know, doing that. I mean, that's just kind of what you picture in your head, you know.
But when you
Yeah.
say Tina and Ike, I get bad feelings.
Yeah.
If you had just said Tina, I'd pick Tina. But when you said Tina and Ike, I'd go Creedence.
Well, that is I Can Tina
I
Turner.
know, but I
that
just
recorded
want to
that.
act like he's not part of it.
Yeah, I'm sure she does too. That did not go well or end well. Speaking of things that didn't end well, you went rolling down a river this weekend, and
Yep.
we got a great story about another guy who decided to go rolling down a river for a different reason. And I love this story, and we've already spoke about the fact that I love the way this story ends. Just the last thing that's said. But so we've got a guy that gets pulled over for a traffic stop. He's driving without a license, things like that. A man in Missouri was arrested after attempting to escape from police by floating down a river to flee a traffic stop on Friday, according to officials. The Franklin County Sheriff's Office said on Facebook, which, by the way, we live in a world where news is on. Everybody gets their news from Facebook.
Yep.
Anyway, when the 38-year-old man attempted to escape from police by floating down the Barbousse River, the incident happened near the town of Union, located about 50 miles west of St. Louis, which, that's another great thing about this story to me. St. Louis, a major city, and yet there's still rednecks everywhere you go. You're not going anywhere without them.
No.
Major Trevor Wild of the Franklin County Sheriff's Office told the St. Louis Post-Dispatch the man drove through a hayfield and ditched his car Friday morning before he attempted to swim down the river. Officials said the 38-year-old was initially stopped for driving without a license and failing to yield to law enforcement. The man was seen in the river at 8:30 a.m. in the area of Shawneetown Ford Road Union wearing a blue mechanics top button-up shirt. So I'm probably headed to work. Officials said the man came out of the river and was caught by 1:30 p.m. 5 hours later. Wild told the Post-Dispatch arresting him. The 38-year-old man was later released. The man's identity was not released. And this is what I love here. Wild said, although it is definitely not normal, this is not the first time someone has attempted to escape by floating down a river. He said it has happened several times before.
Wow.
So Q, I guess you're trying to get away. First of all, if we're taking the river route, how do we want to go about that? But maybe there's better ways. Maybe there's better ways to execute what this guy was trying to accomplish.
Yeah. I mean, And then generally, here's the thing: we've all maybe been speeding a little bit, or rolled through a stop sign, or something like that. And next thing we know, there's some police officer turning around or pulling out, and we're like, "This is going to be a headache." Like, I mean, you hadn't done anything serious.
Yeah.
For most of us, maybe not all of us, but for most of us, we don't have warrants that we're worried about.
No.
That when they like pull us over,
Not
it's
anymore,
just-
anyway.
Yeah,
in
not
your
anymore.
case.
Those are gone. So just the inconvenience of having to sit there and then get some ticket. And by the way, tickets are expensive these days.
Oh man, bad.
They're over $100 for like a speeding ticket.
Well, then you got to pay. I mean, and
Court
it's
fees,
the court fees and all that stuff
You
on
gotta
top
take
of it. That's
time
like
out to go to court.
yeah, that's like double what the ticket is.
So I get it. Like, here's the thing. I understand if you want to run from the cops for a traffic violation. I understand that feeling inside. I'm not saying I condone it. I'm just saying I understand
You're
it.
just saying we empathize.
Yes.
With the feeling there. Yeah.
Now, I've ran from the cops twice in my life and succeeded in getting away from them. Okay? So I'm just going to share with you those two experiences, and then I'll more generally talk toward this river floating thing.
Okay.
All right? The first time I was 16, and I was going down a country road speeding. I grew up in the country,
Yeah.
and those roads have speed limits, but it's a country road. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like they shouldn't really have it. I feel like if it's a country road, you shouldn't have a speed limit. You should just be like, drive like a country boy.
Yeah. Even though
have
those
fun.
roads are generally more dangerous than highways.
Yeah, but people in country start driving at a young age. I was driving a tractor with a straight shift when I was 10, So, like, you learn quicker. So I just feel like they shouldn't have traffic violations there. And so, but anyway, I was driving on this country road, and I'm passing a police officer. I'm going home.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm speeding. It's like a 35. I'm probably going 55, I mean, perfectly fine. But I guess he was bored. And so I see him turn his blue lights on, and he has to pull in. Now, so he has to pull in a road to turn around.
Yeah.
And I see that road's a little bit past me. I know it's where you're going to go turn around.
Yeah.
Now, I also knew there was a car that just pulled out of that road. So it's at this moment I realized I've got a chance because he's going to turn around this road, and there's going to be one car between us that's not speeding. He's got to get around. All right. So let me tell you, for me, and again, you should never run from the police. Okay. But for me, you either have to make that decision in that split moment.
Oh yeah, you ain't got long to think.
And you got to decide I'm running right now,
Yeah.
or because you can't like wait till if you have any hesitation, just go. I'm not gonna run.
No.
Just go ahead and say I'm just
Because
gonna
you
wait
got to
until
realize
time
he saw a blur coming by
Yeah.
him, so he doesn't fully know
Right.
everything
He
about
ain't
your
got-
vehicle. Doesn't have a license plate
No
number or
license
anything like
plate
that.
number.
No, yeah.
So what I did was there was this lady. We called her Mutt. That I went to church with. All right, her name was Mutt. I don't know why her name was Mutt.
She was okay with it.
Yeah, it's one of our good buddies' grandmother. So anyway, her name was Mutt, and she made the best ever chocolate biscuit and gravy. All right, it was just so good. All right, so anyway, I just go over there and eat it every now and then. Made great sausage balls. Great person. Love her.
I feel like why didn't she not open a store?
I don't know.
Much chocolate biscuits.
I agree.
mean, that's
But her house, sat right in the middle of a cornfield.
okay.
And I went past it on the way home. So in that moment, I'm like, I don't know if I can get away from this cop, but I'm going to try. And it wasn't the money issue. It was, I haven't been 16 long, and my dad is going to be really upset
absolutely.
if I come home with a ticket.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So I knew much long driveway in the middle of that cornfield was just 200 yards up the road. So I gas it, turn in there, and then I get about halfway down that driveway. I turn all my lights off, and I drive up in the middle of that cornfield.
So this is nighttime. This is happening.
Yeah,
Okay.
I drive up in the middle of the cornfield and just hang out. Now, and I never saw the police. Now, here's the only hard part about that story is I didn't know how long to try to stay there.
Oh no. Yeah.
Because I don't know how bad he wants.
And just riding up and down the road.
Yeah, I don't know
waiting
how
for you,
bad he
yeah.
wants to catch me at that point, So, like, I think I hung out in that cornfield for like a couple of hours. And I missed my curfew, and I got in trouble for that. But I felt like it was better to get in trouble for missing curfew
Yeah.
than to come home with a speeding
Less
ticket.
repercussions than a speeding ticket. Yes. Yeah.
So that's the first time I did it. The second time I ran from the cops was on accident. And it happened just a few weeks ago.
Oh gosh.
So I was in Guntersville, Alabama, and I was going through downtown, and I was going to a appointment in Huntsville with my wife, and there was a light that was turning yellow, and for some people that means slow down, and for some people it means
Go.
hurry up and get through there.
Yeah,
before it
get
turns
through
red.
there.
Like,
Yeah.
You know, you're catching it. Did I
Get out of people's way. We're trying to be considerate.
What I did not realize was there was a police officer that was turning left the opposite direction. So he was trying to get across too before the light turned red. And now I've kind of messed his world up because I'm like coming through. He can't even get across to them.
Yeah.
So
which if he's out underneath the light, everything he's doing is
yes.
perfectly legal. Yeah.
And so I learned such a great lesson this day. So I see him turn his lights on as soon as I go under, and he has to pull into, and it was turning into like a road, but also a convenience store. So he's turning there, and he's going to have to whip it back around and get behind me. And as soon as I see him turn his lights on, I'm like, I tell my wife, I'm like, I'm not going to run from this guy. I'm just going to make it easy. And I whip down this little road into a bank parking lot. Like, I'll just sit here and wait for him. And he goes right by me. And I was like, I've learned a new skill today. Like, if they're going, here's the thing. I think most police officers have this idea. If you're a police officer, you rebel this, you can. Most police officers have this idea that they're going to have to get behind you and make you pull over.
Oh yeah.
But if you just like immediately pull over somewhere,
Yeah.
they may go right by you. And that happened. I'm going to try that every time now.
That's not
if
a bad
a police
idea.
officer turns around,
idea.
I'm just going,
Yeah.
pull in somewhere and just sit there.
It's not a bad idea at all. Because most people like myself, you know, we're so, you know, self-absorbed and think we're so awesome that as soon as we see a cop turn his lights on, our first thought, even if we're going 100 in a 35, our first thought, well, that can't be for me. that can't be me. He's probably got a call. He's just going to go right around me.
Yeah. But I thought, man, either he's going to pull over and be very like, oh, this. Well, you know, I thought, man, I'm pulling over, so he'll think, thank you for being so considerate and getting off the road.
Yeah.
Or now I'm just going to do it every time because he may just go right by me and I'll never have to pay it.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
It's a great plan.
Here's the thing: if you're going to get in the lake and float, which by the way, I think's a great plan. He went through a hayfield first. He tried one of my plans first. Maybe it's mine. He's like, I'm going to go into hayfield. Maybe they won't follow me. They did. Apparently, fell him into the hayfield, and then he's like, ooh, this hayfield's close to a river, so I'm going to run to the river and I'm just going to jump in and float. I think that's an incredible idea. I really do.
Well, I mean, but obviously it's not an incredible idea in this situation because they just knew where to go because apparently several people have tried this before. So I bet they saw the vehicle in the hayfield and went, nah, I bet he's in the river.
But he was released later that day.
He was released later that day because he was, I mean, he was driving without a license. That's
No,
all
I
he
don't
was
think that's why
doing.
he's released. I think it's because they went, dude, you like floated 5 hours in the river. Like, you deserve to go home now. Good job.
That's worse than anything that we can do for you for what you did. Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't you want to become I mean, if you're a police officer, I know we're not, but if you were and this guy did that for driving without a license, wouldn't you be like, kind of like, man, that's pretty cool. Like, good try. How's he get caught 5 hours later?
I don't know. I mean, maybe there's just maybe there's just I mean, several people do this. Maybe there's just a place where police hang out and wait for people to come out of the river.
They're like, hey, gotta jump back in the river again. I'll go down, send somebody down by the dam. Just tell them to hang out for about 5 hours.
What if they just walked beside him the entire 5 hours? Like, you got to get out sooner or later. We're just like you're floating. We're barely walking and we're keeping up with you.
Hey, come on. Oh, no, okay. See you in 5 hours.
Yeah.
If
I get tired of walking, I'm just going to send a boat to ride along beside you until
people have people have had to gotten away with it. I mean, the issue is your car's there.
Yeah, you got to
they're
go
gonna
back and get it sooner or later. Yeah.
You know, I mean, they got your stuff at that point. I mean, really, if you're going to try to do it, you got to drive your car into the river. You just got to roll your windows down and say, I am sinking this bad boy. If it means that much to you.
If it means, I mean, like if you've got other warrants out, then that's probably going to be the way to go.
Because then, here's the deal. The police have to decide, do we really want to bring in a crane to like try to drag this car out of the river? Do we really want to spend all this money and time on this? Or are we kind of like, this guy got away. So I think the key is if you're going to try to get away by river, you got to drive your car in the river, number one. And make sure you roll your windows down, because I've just heard like you can't bust windows if you're underwater. That's how you die. So you got to roll your windows down.
Well, no, you can roll them down once you're underwater. There's that moment in between being in the river and submerged that you can't roll them down.
Yeah,
Once you are submerged and your car pressurizes, then you can roll them down.
But you don't do
So
this.
just go ahead and roll. Well, I mean, but you roll them down before it actually,
Yeah.
would make more sense.
I would roll down before, undo your seatbelt, all those things, and just take that thing in the water. When I was in Chattanooga, they have this thing called the ducks. These cars that you can drive.
Oh yeah, the
water.
duck boats. Yeah.
So I watched one of those enter the water.
Yeah.
It's not that bad. Car entering water is not that bad. Just
But those float.
yeah, I know. But I'm just saying, it's not like I didn't never know like driving your car in the water how bad it might hurt you. It's not that bad. It's gonna like slow you down, and then just jump out, let the car sink, and then just wave at the police as you go down the water. And then they're either
Or
going to
you could just go full out in that situation. Just try to stay underwater as long as you could, and just like
make them think.
just fake the death. And I mean,
That's true.
go from there if you wanted
That's
to.
true.
Yeah.
I just can't believe. I wish there's more to the story. I can't believe he got caught. It makes me sad.
I just can't believe after 5 hours of floating, he wasn't like outside of the jurisdiction of the police that were after him. Like after 5 hours, I'm thinking the way you get through this is after 5 hours, man, you're bought in.
Yeah.
You go as long as you've got to go to be outside of the police jurisdiction of the ones that are looking for you.
Yeah.
And you get far enough down the river where they're not going to find you.
Well, this is what I hope you've learned today with us, is that if you're going to run from the police,
And you shouldn't.
you should not. But if you are, we've given you some creative ways to do it.
Yes.
All right, that have at times have worked for us, and
That is very important that these ways are not a danger to any other human beings.
exactly
You're
right.
not putting anybody else in
No.
danger by doing what we have talked about.
Yeah,
Yes.
our ways aren't going high speed. That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
high
dangerous.
speed car chases are not going to end well.
Never end well.
No.
Like watch the
Not
videos.
for
That's
anybody.
not ending well for anybody
No.
out there. Don't do that. Just hide. Quickly hide. And that's your best shot.
Hiding is always your best shot.
That's
And hiding somewhere where someone can't just walk down the bank beside you
That's my advice.
and wait for you to come.
That's my advice today.
It's solid. It's solid advice. It's very, very solid advice. So don't run from the cops, kids. All right, but if you do, do it smart.
Jeff, have you ever ran from the cops?
No. I've faked having to crap my pants, so it works.
That is a good one. I knew a dude that killed a bee in the back seat of his car, and like in the back glass of the car, and he just left the dead bee there. And anytime he got pulled over, he'd be like, "I'm sorry, officer, that bee was." Somehow I was just trying to get rid of that bee. I didn't realize how fast I was going.
The only time I ever got off anything like that is one time I got pulled over and I was speeding after a church service, and there's like, "Son, why are you speeding?" And I was like, "Officer, man, I just got out of church and the Holy Spirit was so powerful.
Wow.
I just was lost it."
Wow. Wow.
I was young and dumb.
Oh.
I'm sure God's forgive me for that. And I got off because, who he didn't want to mess with? He did not want to mess with the Holy Spirit that day.
That's true.
So not in the deep south.
I say wow, but the one time I got out of a speeding ticket was on my way to church. And I told them that I was the music minister and I had to get there because the service couldn't start without me. And they said, "Go on." Which all was true.
Yeah.
I wasn't as late as I might have let on that I was. but anyway. All right. Hey, don't lie. Don't lie either. Hey, we have been Nick and Q, and once again, the universe is a safe place to live. You are welcome. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook. Go like us, subscribe to us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, all those great places. We need your emails. nickandq@gmail.com. We've got a listener question episode coming up soon, and we need some good ones. We want to know how we can help you save the universe, and so do that as well. And man, just thank you for listening. This has been a lot of fun for all of us involved, and we hope it's been just as much fun for you. All right, you're welcome.